Hey, what's up YouTube? Guns and Gills here. Hey, I wanted to take a quick second and show you how I store JJ's Magic. I'm out here in Northern California and went through a couple variations of storage for this, and what I've settled on now works pretty well, but I wanted to bring that to you. This was something I actually searched on YouTube when I started using JJ's Magic more and more. I started needing a better way to store it. If you go on JJ's website, he says you can store it up to 95 degrees, but after that, you don't want to store it any hotter than that, or it can kind of spray out a little bit. So anyway, I've kind of went through a couple different ways I store it, but I wanted to show you how I do it the majority of the time now. I kind of went from one jar, which was what I used this little green cheap Tupperware. And then when I started getting into other colors, I picked up this little red Tupperware thing. And now finally, I carry about 5 or 6 with me, 5 or 6 different colors, and I use the Plano box for it. So a couple of cool things you can do with the Plano box. I'm going to show you how that's set up in a second. But a quick word on JJ's Magic. It is a dye. I think it's pretty well known out there now. A lot of people use it. I love it. I love the fact that I can mix colors. Like, for instance, out here in Northern California, I do real well on chartreuse mixed with methylate. It actually turns it into an orange or an orange tail on your soft plastics. So I use multiple colors and kind of change it up. You can also use Q-tips and kind of paint something with it too. There's a lot of things people don't normally do with it that you can do with it. So I'm a big fan of JJ's Magic. I use it a lot. I want to say I use it pretty much all the time now. But anyway, let's get into it real quick. This is how I started with this little green. It is all screwed up now, but this little green Tupperware container. I just took some foam out of one of my gun cases. Yeah, I think this is the Plano that I reviewed on my channel. It eventually just fell apart because this foam is not the best quality. So I ended up just stealing some of the foam out of it. And I was using this when I was carrying like 1 or 2 JJ's Magic bottles. And this worked pretty well. The thing that I didn't like about it was it's not waterproof. So if you did have a leak, it's going to leak out into your boat, which was a concern for me. And I don't know how well insulated that is, and it, like I said, it certainly isn't waterproof. So I grew out of this relatively quickly, and then I moved into this this red Tupperware container, and you can see I got some of it here. I went from this one pretty quickly, and I used to carry 3 bottles. In fact, I still have a bottle of JJ's in here, and this is just a Rubbermaid Tupperware container with 3 holes in it, and that worked reasonably well for a short period of time. It's a little bit more airtight than the cheap Tupperware container, so it worked. The one thing that I liked about this that I don't get with the Plano is it has a I'm sorry, let me take that back. That I don't get with the Pelican is it had a removable lid. So one of the things that I like to do about it, and you can see some of the chartreuse there on the lid, is I would like to dip the bait, whether it's a jig trailer or something like that. I would dip the bait and then put it on this and let it dry for a few seconds while I'm screwing the cap back on the JJ's. So that worked well. You can't do that with the Pelican, but I still think the Pelican is the way to go. So this is how I'm doing it now, and it's hot right now. We're in the middle of summer, so I think it's 101 here today, so you got to keep this thing cool. A couple of cool features. This is a Pelican 1150. So if you're looking for a size, if you want to duplicate this, get the Pelican 1150. The 11, I want to say it's the 1140 or the 1120 are not tall enough for this. The 1150 is perfect for this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. Try to make this a real quick video here. I'm gonna open it up, and this is how I got it stored. It comes with pick and pluck foam. If you're not familiar with that, it's just foam cut into squares, and you can just create your own little patterns in here. And this is literally just deep enough to get a secure, snug fit. And I got it in yellow because my what I use the most often is the chartreuse. So I wanted to get it in yellow, thinking, okay, well, the yellow will match what I'm carrying it in, so it's not going to bleed over quite as bad. Now this has got the Pelican box has got a great O-ring seal. It's waterproof. So what I do in the summer with this is I put it in. This is a Yeti Roadie, and this is like a Yeti Ice, you know, one of those freezable things. And this Yeti is perfect for 2 people. But what I do is, because this is waterproof, I don't worry about putting it in the cooler. So if it's a real hot day, I'll take this, I'll put my drinks on the bottom, I'll put my snacks up the side, and then I'll put my Yeti Ice. This is the biggest Yeti Ice I think that they make. So anyway, I'll put the Yeti Ice on top of my drinks, and then I'll put the Plano box inside of the Yeti Roadie. It fits perfectly, and then you don't have to worry about temperature all day. It will keep everything in this box nice and cool. During the winter, you don't have to put it in the cooler, obviously. I just put it, this is a Bass Cat Pantera 2. I just put it in a little cooler there in the middle, and it's fine all day. As long as I know it's not getting up, above like 85, I'll just leave it in the cooler and it's fine there. There's no issues. Like I said though, the one thing that I do miss, going back to the Tupperware, is the fact that it's got this removable lid. I would set that on the boat, put my bait on it, let it dry. It only needs to dry for a few seconds. And then I would, while I'm screwing the lid back on the JJs or whatever, you got to get that tight. You don't want it leaking out. But this is how I'm doing it here, folks. This works extremely well. I got some new ones here. You can see, you're going to get some color on the foam and everything, but this holds it real secure. And that's a great way to store it. I haven't had any issues this summer using this little system here. This would work with any cooler. But because, like I said, this is watertight, you don't have to worry about it leaking out on your food. It doesn't smell. You don't open up the Yeti and get this big whiff of garlic or anything like that. That's just how I do it, folks. I hope that helps somebody out. Have a good day.